Hi folks, Fuzz here, bringing you another episode of Final Fantasy X-2 today, and we're going to basically continue our tradition of heading through the list to complete the destinations here in Chapter 1 of the game. And as you can see, our percentage score is now on 17% as of the start of this episode. We're going to be adding to that again today. Whether it will be enough to actually increase the number on screen, I'm not yet sure. So we're going to be heading over to the Bikanel Desert first, which will be our major destination for today. Though you will need to have completed the prerequisites earlier on in Jose Temple. So make sure you head over there if you haven't already and get the letter of introduction. Check out the previous video I did on that area in this walkthrough if you need to understand how exactly to go about doing so. And once you've got the letter of introduction from Jose, we're going to head over to the desert itself. So let's go ahead and select mission on this. And that'll bring us there. We'll get a brief introduction to the zone, of course, for our first time visit here in the game.
Bikanel Island. This is where the All-Bed's beloved home stood until 2 years ago. Most have moved on, but a handful of All-Beds still live here today. They say countless machina lie buried under the desert sands.
Leave the trailblazing to me. I don't think that sand dune used to be there.
Okay, so Riku goes running off at this point. And all we need to do to start with is to follow her. As you can see, this is a really hostile area. And there's some fairly interesting enemies here. But to be honest, most of which we can just take out with pretty much standard attacks and what have you. Which is pretty much what I'm going to do here. I guess we can just throw, I don't know, water R against the fly eye. Get the feeling you won't like water R. Could be wrong on that, doesn't really matter. He's down.
Sorry we had to win.
So fortunately the battle areas are a lot less sandy than the field areas. Can hardly see where you're going, can you? But yeah, there's no map or anything, so just keep following Riku until we get to another cutscene. So I believe this enemy is known... Oh, it's a Wendigo type enemy. I guess we'll just hit it with some hard spells here. It looks like it's got a lot of health, doesn't it? It looks like that type of enemy. Yeah, not enough to stand up to a Blizzardgar though. Okay, so we'll just keep... What the heck? I pressed up and she started running down. Oh, the absurdity of it. I don't know, eh? Eventually, anyway, after a bunch of random enemy encounters, another scene should kick you off. So, as you can see, it's not immediate. The game is pretty mean to us, wants us to fight a lot of foes, it seems. And, wow, surprised we haven't bumped into another set. Nope, we're not going to. Here's the scene. Wow, Riku is off and away, isn't she?
Riku, you do know the way, right?
Riku, are we in trouble?
Yeah, it seems the party passed out in the heat of the desert, but fortunately the Al-Bed have arrived. Let's just hope they're going to be friendly to us. Yeah, still not quite making heads or tails out of the language there, but we do score an L-bed primary, in my case number 23, though of course, as always, it's random, so you'll probably get a different number. Okay, so straight away you'll notice there's a save sphere. Probably doesn't hurt just to go ahead and touch that. And incidentally, I believe this NPC next to the save sphere is a merchant, so you can use this guy if you need to stock up on the usual wares. There's nothing really that exciting here. A couple of accessories, a fiery gleam and a red ring. Otherwise, that's about it. I'm not going to bother with that for now. Like I say, just touch the save point if you had a few battles. Basically, we just need to start the mission, and this is where we're going to need the letter of introduction. So make sure, as I say, you go back and get that if you haven't already. You can use the save sphere actually to get back to the airship if you want to. And then we're going to go ahead and chat to some of the folks around here. Dum-de-dum-dum. So a little bit of information. Let's head over to Riku and Payne. Yeah, we get a cutscene.
He says they had to move the camp to escape a sandstorm. We could have looked forever and never found it.
Oh!
What?
Sounds like there's a big sandstorm coming in. It's probably too big for the airship to handle.
I guess we won't be leaving the way we came.
Right, after that scene then, we need to look for... Well, I think we can chat to these guys again. Could be wrong on that. Nope, not these. There is two NPCs I think that are quite close together that we do need to speak to, from what I remember. Let's just chat to everybody. It's usually the best way to do things, isn't it? And one of these will eventually kick off the cutscene. I'm going to click no on that for now. We actually do want another cutscene before doing anything else. Okay, I think we're just having to wait for Nadala, who has to turn up eventually, but isn't here yet. Literally, if you just hang around for a while and then just speak to everybody is what I did, and then it triggered this cutscene when Nadala turns up. So I literally didn't do anything. I chatted to these guys a few times, they didn't do anything, nothing happened. Ran around a bit, chatted to them again. They said the same thing, but then immediately we kicked off that cutscene. So it took about 3 or 4 minutes for that to actually happen. But then, of course, you know, pretty much it did what you just saw there. Okay, so speaking to them now does nothing, it seems. So what we're going to do is... Where did she go? Nadal, it wasn't this person, was it? No. We need to find her, basically. Ah, there we go. And that'll kick off another scene.
So make it fast, okay? I've got lots to excavate and no one to do it.
Uni, show her Gipple's letter.
Oh, so you're the new guys.
That's us.
Nice to meet you.
I guess the High Summoner's hard up too. Well, don't be expecting any special treatment.
Right.
Let's get to it then. Here's where we are. And here is where you're headed.
Oh, but it's so far.
We'll send you out there by hover. Go talk to the pilot about it.
Yeah, that officially kickstarts the mission for us. And our very next objective is to go and speak to the pilot, and he'll take us where we need to go. And this is a digging mission. Now, only dig what you need to do for the mission, okay? Because if you dig extra, which you can do, then you can actually forfeit 100% completion. So, Even though you might enjoy the mini game itself, only do what I do. Don't try and do any more than that, because even though you can get extra items, as I say, there's a chance you can forfeit completion by getting items that you don't want to get. Right, so what we're going to do is speak to the pilot here. And he suggests the Western Expanse, which we agree to. But before that, going to introduce us to our partner, apparently. Well, it's Pickett. Okay, so here we go, digging basics. Basically, we're going to get a little bit of time to dig as much as we can do. And you can see there's white crosses and yellow crosses. Well, the yellow cross is the mission critical item, so that's pretty much what we have to get. The white crosses are just other things that we want to get. But bear in mind that the white crosses can also give you battles as well. So you only actually really need to get the yellow cross, to tell you the truth. Okay, so we've got 60 seconds. I'm not going to go mad with the white crosses. I don't want to mess anything up. But we'll just go for one. High potion, that's fine. And there we get the Special Assembly S. So I believe it's random, the item that you can get. But there's like a set to get, if that makes sense. Okay, so you don't actually have to get the yellow items last. Now, fortunately, the timer doesn't continue while you're fighting enemies. So feel free to take your time with these guys. There's no rush, so to speak.
Piece of cake.
Yeah, so I'm going to ignore the other whiteys for now. And just head back to the hovercraft. Then we have to get in front of it. There we go.
Just what
There we have it.
You're good.
A nice, simple and easy mission, eh?
Don't let it go to your head. But you did do a good job. Here, your reward.
Yes!
Thank you.
So that completes the mission. And we should get a nice healing item along with a new garment grid. Right, there's the garment grid. And an elixir, the healing item. Okay, and that pretty much is all we need to do here in Bikanel Desert for the time being. So we are going to be making our way now back to the airship. Looks like we've got another cutscene first.
We'll be here.
Only a brief one. Okay, so our next destination is going to be Bevelle. Nothing in terms of missions or anything to do in Bevelle, just some scenes and one item to grab. So let's... Where are we? Where's the... There it is. Oh look, we've almost completed the list now, haven't we? Apart from Besaid Island and Zanarkand Ruins, we've only got 3 more to go, including Bevelle. And then we've got the story destinations themselves, of course, to get ahead with. So as usual, an introduction.
At the heart of Spira. Even today, it's also the place where I was born. I suppose that makes it my hometown, but I can't say that I have a lot of fond memories here.
Okay, so all we're going to do, you can speak to some of these folks if you want to, but there's no real need to. Won't affect your score in either case. We're just going to basically head north here. It's a bit of a trek, as you can see. Quite a long pathway here. I'm sure many of you remember it from Final Fantasy X anyhow. Just keep going north. There's no items or anything to grab outside. And then we'll get to the door. Okay, so we'll just continue on following the pathway here, and that's going to take us west, and this will lead us to a sea.
High Summoner. I see you finally decided to join New Yevon. You do us much honor, my lady. Lord Braska, may he rest in peace, would be proud. I will summon the Praetor immediately. I beg your leave.
Pushy, isn't he?
We should leave.
Hey, what's the matter, Uni?
Well, you see, there was this arrangement, with the son of the chairman of New Yevon. I turned the offer down, but I thought it'd be kind of awkward.
Yuna?
You're probably right. Let's go.
Huh? No, wait! Hey! Oh!
A pleasure, Lady Yuna. I am Baralai, Praetor of New Yevon.
So, you're the chairman's son?
Ah, as it happens, the chairman has recently resigned, as did his son, the Praetor. They were trying to take too much power. We had to ask them to leave. Now the younger members run the party, by mutual consensus, of course.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So you see, Lady Yuna, it is not I that was meant to marry the High Summoner.
Oh, my.
Not that we wouldn't appreciate your support. On the contrary, you'd be most welcome. I understand if your feelings toward Yevon are mixed. But I would hope that you could put that aside and join our cause. The world is changing, and there are many who are finding it difficult to keep up. New Yevon wishes to help those who feel lost in the winds of change. If you'll excuse me, there are matters which require my attention. Oh, and should you come across any spheres of Spear's past, please do let us know. My lady?
Ooh. So, what do you think?
What? Pain?
I think I've heard enough. What now?
Okay, while Yuna might have her own awkward memories of Bevelle, I certainly have my memories of the bleeding Bevelle trials. I'm sure many of you do as well. Right, so before we do go ahead and leave, we're just going to head inside. I did mention there's an item to grab, and we can head up onto the lift here. And this will take us to an item, I believe, actually. Let's make sure it's not lurking around here. It seems to be, doesn't it? Hiding a little bit. Ah, no, there we go. We'll just speak to the dude here. And he gives us the tiara. And to be honest, guys, that's pretty much it. So not a whole lot to do in Bevelle. So next time we're going to be moving on to the Calmlands. Quite an open area from Final Fantasy X. With some pretty annoying aspects to it, it's got to be said, in that game. And you probably won't be pleased to know there's also some annoying mini-games in Final Fantasy X too, involving the Calmlands as well. But like I say, we'll leave that for the next episode, talk about it all then. Alright then guys, well I'm going to head back to the airship at this point. I guess I'll just show you the final completion score before we finish up. Okay, so we did begin the episode on 17%. And now we've, by the end of the episode, bunched it up to 19%. So a whole 2% gain. Not too shabby at all. Alright then guys, so you can see the hotspots disappeared from Bikanel Desert because we did that dig. As I say, next time we're going to be heading over to the Calmlands. In fact, we've already done Mount Gagazat, haven't we? That was one of the first things we did. Though there's a few things we can do there now that we couldn't before. So we will be going there as well after the Calmlands. And then we'll be finally moving on to Besaid Island and Zanarkand Ruins at last. The difficulty of those has dropped down a little bit now as well, hasn't it, because of the extra levels we've gained. And then that'll be it for Chapter 1. Thanks for stopping by and joining me for today's episode then, guys. Hope it's been helpful to you. Come back soon. See you then. More Final Fantasy X too. Take care. Goodbye.